It's time now to catch up with the latest business news, and for that we're joined in studio by Stephen Carroll, who is just over here. Stephen, you've been looking at market reaction to Theresa May winning that vote of confidence.
That's right, the markets don't like uncertainty, and in the extremely uncertain world of Brexit, avoiding a leadership contest at this crucial stage has been good news for the pound sterling. Well, sterling has been a lightning rod for all of the twists and turns in the Brexit process, so this week has been a very busy one for currency traders. We saw a sharp drop on Monday in sterling when Theresa May delayed the parliamentary vote on her withdrawal deal. There were then further falls as it emerged the Prime Minister was facing a leadership challenge, as you can see here, but a bit of a rebound as it emerged that, after all, there wouldn't be a change in leadership of the Conservative Party. We did see sterling during this week, though, hit the lowest level since April 2017 of under $1.25, although there has been that slight rebound since. Well, let's take a look at how today's trading is panning out. The pound pretty steady against the dollar and the euro in trading. £1 trading for just over $1.26 and over €1.11. Now, that news of Theresa May's victory coming after the stock markets had closed yesterday. Let's see how they've opened up today. London's FTSE 100 up around 1/3% in trading. Focus on central banks later today. The ECB expecting to end its bond purchasing programme. Bank shares leading the gains in Europe today. In Asia, Japanese markets finished the day up on renewed optimism over US-China trade relations. Gains too in Shanghai and in Hong Kong on that news as well. And the Kospi and Seoul rounding out a positive picture on the Asian markets. One of the reasons for that optimism may be down to the humble soybean. China has made its first major purchase of US soybeans since Presidents Xi and Trump met earlier this month. Purchase worth some $500 million. China had stopped buying American soy in July as trade tensions flared between the world's two largest economies. The beans are the most valuable agricultural product that the United States exports. Last year, China accounted for 60% of purchases. Now, the ratings agency Standard & Poor's says the economic measures announced by President Macron in response to the Yellow Vest protests won't affect the country's credit rating. That's despite the estimated cost of €10 billion of the tax cuts and the increase to the minimum wage that were announced on Monday. S&P gives France a AA rating with a stable outlook. Meanwhile, the French finance and labour ministers are to meet unions and employers today to discuss the implementation of those measures. Among the steps they'll be taking is a call from the French president for companies to pay bonuses to staff tax-free. Already, some of the country's biggest brands have signed up, as Georgina Robertson now reports.
Strongly encouraged by the government, some of France's biggest companies are going to give an end-of-year lump sum to their staff, tax-free. Telecoms giants Orange and SFR, luxury goods names LVMH and Kering, among others. Smaller companies too, industrial groups, like this steel company near Lyon. For their 1,000 employees in France, a bonus of €500 between now and the end of 2018. This represents 1% of their profits.
It's a good amount, a third of my salary.
It will give us a little extra for Christmas to treat the family and the children.
At this company, the manager was quickly convinced, as the bonus is not subject to the usual social charges here in France.
If this system had not been put forward, this exception, for an employee to receive €500, that would have cost the company €1,100.
It is a bonus that is harder for small firms to pay, like this consulting company, which has 25 employees. The boss wants to give €800 to all his staff.
That will cost me exactly €20,000 and about 17% of my annual profits for the year. So it's not insignificant for the company.
Estimates are that this bonus scheme could cost the state up to €500 million. The government is now under pressure to pass the law to allow the payment before the end of the year.
Finally, for me, the Boy Scouts of America organisation is considering filing for bankruptcy. The group has been hit by falling membership and legal costs over a string of sexual abuse scandals. The Wall Street Journal says the not-for-profit youth group has hired lawyers for help with a potential bankruptcy filing. It has more than 2 million members in the US, but that figure has been falling in recent years. Eve.
Okay, Stephen, thanks a lot for that business update.